Are we live? Are we live? Hello, everyone. Are we live? I see three people are here. If you're one of the three people, let me know on chat by giving me a hello. Just say hello with like multiple O's so I know you're here. Hi, Shivangi. Who else is here? I'm not seeing a live number count, so hopefully you guys are here. Let me know who all are here. Hi, Jiju. Who else are here? Hi, Joe. Nice to see you all. Hi, Sunita. So today, hi, Ankita. Hi, Shivangi. I said Shivangi. Yes, same Shivangi. Hi, Venkat. So today we have a live question and answer segment. It's been a while since I did this on my channel, but now is the perfect time to do it. I have certain questions that you guys submitted, which I will answer as many as I can. I'll also take live questions from you guys. Let's see who else is here. Hi, Anindya. Hi, Edo. Hi, Hanigala. Thank you so much for your wishes. Hi, Hema. Anushka. Hi, Anushka. Lovely to see you. Subhashini, Yogita, Universal Things, Sonali, Dongare, Shifa, Megha. Lovely to see you all. Okay, so while we're waiting for people to come in, okay, the room is filling up now really quick. Hi, good vibes. Kanchan, Asha, Rin, Mamta, Vidya, Riya, with love, D, Rajendra, Manisha, Poonam, Nilesh, fabulous. Okay, so now that we're here, today is a live Q&A segment. I have certain questions that you guys have submitted and certain that I will take live on the chat. So let me know where are you from before I get while the room is filling in. Before I get started with answering the questions, where are you from? Please let me know in the chat. Where are you from? If you see the light outside, it's still what time is it here? It is 4:30 in the afternoon here in Croatia, so the light is still bright outside. Okay, let's see. So we have Gurgaon, Mysore, Pune, Muscat, Oman. Okay, we have international people here. Noida, Mysore, Mumbai, Chhattisgarh, New York. Fabulous. Malaysia. Okay, so we have a nice mix of international and Indian people. Kerala, Mumbai, Amritsar. Thank you guys for your wishes for the wedding. Trinidad, wonderful. Superb. So now that everyone is here, let us get started with the question and answer segment. So I'll take a mix of both live questions as well as submitted questions. So let's get started now. A few ground rules. Treat this as a class and not just a live chat. Let's take it as a proper class. Imagine you're in my academy, and I've teacher has come into the room. You have your notebooks ready, and you're ready to take this class, whatever I share, very seriously and apply it into your life. So take a moment and go get yourself a notebook, because whatever questions I answer, imagine it's a question that you asked and that the answer is for you, because I'm gonna answer it in a general way. So whatever I answer will somehow be for you. So make sure you're taking notes. So go now, get yourself a notebook or a sheet of paper and a pen. Get yourself ready to take notes. And once you're ready, type in the chat saying ready. Okay. Type in the chat saying ready. We'll take live questions towards the end. Okay. We'll take live questions towards the end. So just type ready once you have your notebook. Excited? Okay. Super. Yes, YouTube interview with Monica was really great. Law, we got so many private messages on how good that interview was. And Monica was so nervous to do that interview. It was her very first time coming on the video. And I told her, I said, the people who are the most self conscious and worried are the ones who are natural stars. So, the ones who constantly question their worth are the ones who are the natural stars. So wonderful. Okay, ready. Okay, you guys are ready. I will also get started. Take a sip of this lipstick over here. Take a sip of water. Okay, fabulous. Let's get started with question number one. So, from the questions that was submitted, oh, wrong link. From the questions that was submitted, some of the questions are like really large paragraphs and some are shorter ones. So I'll take the shorter ones, as many as I can, because it's fast to read through them and answer them. And then I'll take some live questions. Please keep your notebook ready for notes because I'm going to answer it generally so everyone can apply the answer to their life. So let's, the number of questions are quite a lot. Okay. Okay, so let's start with question number one. Okay, I'm just okay. So many questions. Okay, okay. Let me start with the very last question then. Okay, so questioner asks. We'll take live questions soon. Let's start with the submitted questions. Questioner asks, I have a huge debt to pay off. Every month, more than 1 lakh, I have to pay different EMIs. Whereas I earn only 25,000. Life has become miserable with 3 kids and other commitments. How to have prosperity mindset in this situation? Please guide me. I need your help. So, how many of you would like some information on prosperity mindset? If that's you, just type that's me. Uh, no matter where you are at in your financial journey, even if you're already pretty prosperous, you are living in that constant money coming from every direction vortex. Even then, all of us, even when we reach a really fabulous financial state, we're still looking to expand and keep maintaining a good money streak. So if that is you financially, you are just getting started or you're really good to go, let's answer this question on a prosperity mindset. Okay, so the cool thing about prosperity mindset is it works as powerfully when your back is against the wall, when you have nothing going for you, nothing working on your benefit, and it works great even when you have a lot of prosperity because money does not care about what has happened in your life. It doesn't care about the debts you have to pay. It doesn't care about anything. Money will come to you if you invite it. It does not care about the circumstance you're in right now. It only cares about your invitation. If you invite it in the right way, which I'll show you how to do today, it will come regardless of whether you're earning 25,000 rupees a month, whether you're not earning at all, whether your debts are 1 lakh. Money doesn't care about any of that. We just need to invite it in the right way. So, how do we invite it in the right way? Take notes. Take a notebook and then write out. Firstly, forget the condition of your life. Okay, so don't try to manifest anything from pain. Okay, don't manifest anything from pain. Write this, tattoo it on your arm. I will not try to manifest anything from a place of desperation, upset, anger, hurt, lack. Let's not muddy up the energy. I will take a notebook and I will act as though it's my very first day on planet Earth. Very first moment. I'm just a newborn baby. I just came out of the womb. I don't know what debt is. I don't know what anything is. All I know is I have this infinite possibility to create whatever I want. I'm born new. Okay, this is it. Now I have this, the angels have told me I can create anything I want. So, what do I want? I'd love overflow. Now, overflow, in case you don't know this, I talk about this a lot, is a state where your debts are paid off. Okay, debts are paid off. You have more than enough saved up in the bank account that you can keep spending it and you will still not spend it all. Your debts are paid off. You've got more than enough saved. Your investments are doing brilliantly, and you have even after all that you have excess of money. So even after debts are paid off, you're living your lifestyle, your investments are doing well, you still have so much more money that you can't even spend in your waking life. That is what I call as overflow. So if you have all that potential and power to create overflow, which you do, make a description of what your life would look like and feel like if you had overflow. So pause on the questions that you're asking in the chat and listen carefully to me because this is it. This is the answer I'm giving you. I mean, we've done really well for ourselves financially. People around me who've learned finances are doing really well. I have a case study which I'll mention in Sunday's webinar. I hope you guys are coming for the webinar. 111 days to a perfect life. There's a case study of one of my clients, Mukesh, who did 12 crores or more than that in 90 days. Now let that settle down. 12 crores in 90 days. That's 3 months. Now, Mukesh, beautiful money energy. He sends love to his clients. He says, I love Mr. XYZ and Mr. XYZ loves me. So, whoever is the high ticket client or any client he wants, he creates an energetic bond between him and that client. Okay. Payal, I can see your questions. Don't worry, I won't miss it. But you don't have to. Okay. Okay. Cool. So don't factor in your money. Just hold the condition to the side for a moment. Okay. Keeping the description. You start with writing a description of what it looks like and feels like to have overflow in your life. So what would that look like? So let's say you have this beautiful house, you have this car, you're giving to multiple charities, you're living in this beautiful location, you have you know, for example, in my case, I one of the big things that drives me towards financial freedom is being able to fund research in certain scientific adventures that people like the government does not fund. So I want to be able to fund scientific research. So see yourself living the life you would be living if you were in a state of overflow. Okay, not a state of I have enough, I paid off my debts and now I am back to normal. Not that state. I'm talking about a state that is far ahead, like far ahead of your debts, far ahead of your current financial situation. I'm talking about a state of overflow. Once you can in this moment, so, and this is like a general answer, you will then close your eyes and imagine that you're taking a hand and putting it on the mouse. Okay, mouse. You're imagining that you're taking a hand, you're putting it on the mouse, and you're imagining that you're opening the browser of your internet, you're going to your net banking or your investment profile or whatever dashboard you have for your finances, or you're going to your Excel sheet, however you will log in your finances, however you track it. You are opening that website and you are seeing that number of overflow. Okay, it could be pretty big number. You're seeing that number, and then you are you're smelling the air in that room. What does that room smell like in this moment of you seeing that number? You're smelling the air in that room, you're listening in. So someone is now walking in and looks at the computer with you, and y'all are having a conversation saying, oh my god, I didn't even believe this, but it's happened. Like, I'm so appreciative. And this person says, oh my god, you did it. So now you have this, you know, you're basically convincing your subconscious mind that this is something that is actually happening. I've not given you the full formula, listen carefully. So someone is communicating with you, someone is talking to you, so you're hearing it. You're also listening to the click of the mouse, right? You're listening to the click of the mouse. You are highlighting that number on your bank account. And now try to feel the emotions. Now, one of two things will happen. Either at this point, you feel the emotion so strongly that you're elated and you're like, wow, I'm in this feeling of overflow. Forget your current salary, forget the house on rent, forget all that for 17 seconds. Just be here in pure potential, being brand new, just born on earth. Now, either you'll immediately feel the vibes, or you won't feel anything. You'll feel dead inside. You might feel dead inside when you see that, like you feel nothing, you can't connect to the number at all, and or you feel a pain coming up, upset coming up, that this is just too far away a reality. I can't visualize it clearly. I hate being here. That might happen. So what do we do? This is step number 2. I'm telling you the actual full secret here. Just do it. Take notes. Step number 2 is something called as affirmation. Affirmation, not affirmation. Affirmation is when you ask, why is this my true reality? Why is it my true reality that I'm in a state of overflow? And then write out whatever reasons come up. So I'll give you an example. And this is an answer for all of attraction questions. You're doing the same thing, making a description of what it looks like and feels like, getting your senses involved in all of it, and then doing the affirmation. Why is it true that this is my true reality? It is true that I am in overflow because the universe loves me. Because as I vibrate in joy in my life, joy follows me. Because I'm a money magnet. Because I've done it before, I can keep doing it. because the universe, through all my great life experiences, has showed me that it supports me. And that is why this number is showing up here. So, this is why this number is showing up. That is why this number is showing up. This is why this number is showing up. This is why, this is why, this is why, this is why. Make up any reason. It's because one time when I was in fourth grade, I gave my ice cream to another person. So now positive karma has come and it is showing up in my bank account. Any reason you give to make you believe. See, law of attraction is very simple. Only when you convince yourself, you're in alignment. Problem is you're not convinced. So that's where affirmations come in. Reasons why this is my true reality. And then every day you spend one sheet. I'm telling you exactly what I do. Okay, so I'm telling you my routine. I have my book right here. No, it's downstairs. Every day write one page of this reality. Okay, so I'm an overflow and I feel whatever's that emotion that you feel as being a part of overflow. I'll give you a few more aspects to this answer soon, but I'm an overflow and I feel so blessed. I'm an overflow. And when you write that statement, I'm in overflow and I feel so, close your eyes and see that you're taking the mouse, click, 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 opening the every time you write that statement, per statement, you're going through the vision all over again. You're seeing the person came, you had a conversation, you're smelling the air until you feel that emotion in your heart. This money is sitting in my bank account because of that positive karma which is now being cashed in, right? I cashed in my positive karma and now I have this in my bank account. Now I start believing it. When I believe it, the emotion comes up. When I don't believe it, there's dead. There's no emotional connection to what I wrote, right? This is why this money showed up. Okay, now I feel amazing about it. So I write, I am every day one page. I am an overflow and it feels so amazing. Again, write next line. I am an overflow and it feels so. Before you write the emotion, close your eyes again, clickety click, 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 open the browser, go to the net banking, go to your statement, see this. Why is this my reality? Because I have because I had a bath in when I had a bath, I was in a great mood. Because I did my gratitude, things have come to me. Okay, because I did my gratitude, this number is reflecting. Now I believe it. Now I feel emotionally connected to this. I feel great. Then I write, and I feel blessed. Again, next line. I am an overflow because the key when it comes to all of this is to remember that your current reality is a result or is just the shadow. It's just the shadow, it's not the actual reality. The actual reality is what is forming as you're doing these practices. So the skill of law of attraction is to royally ignore the current reality because it's just the shadow, and continuously build faith and assume that it has already happened. And you do this until you're completely convinced that what you're seeing in your vision is what really is the truth of your life. And when you are completely convinced, it settles in your subconscious mind, and then the world is a mirror to that. So, did that answer your prosperity question? If yes, just type uh, answered in the chat. Okay. So, your current reality is just a shadow. The easy to ignore shadows, but not easy if you don't have mastery over the thoughts that you're choosing, the way that you're speaking. So again, another thing that I will talk about in the webinar for those of you who are coming, and I hope all of you are coming on the 25th. It's called 111 Days to a Perfect Life. I gave a case study. One I just told you about Mukesh, who sends love to the high ticket client, and then he says, I love Mr. XYZ, Mr. XYZ loves me. And he does this 108 times until this bond of love is felt, and he's convinced of this love between these two people. And then those high ticket clients come to him and buy his products. He doesn't convince anybody to buy his products. He only creates bonds of love. This whole webinar that's on the 25th and then again on 30th is only about how love is an attracting force, how to produce the feelings of love in your heart to attract the things that you want. So if that is something for you, please register for that webinar. My team is here. They can paste the link in the chat. Okay. So, so if you can if you can pivot the way you see a situation, if you look at, let's say you look at your bank account and you see nothing there, if you can take a moment to pivot the way you choose to see that, it's just a shadow. Shadow is not the reality, okay? Just because there's nothing in your bank account doesn't mean that's the truth of your life. It just means that's the shadow based on past thoughts. All that is changing based on the current thoughts that you're having. So when you look at the shadow of no money in your bank account, that's your opportunity. That's where it gets fun. That's where it becomes a fun experience to close your eyes and see this number blow up in your imagination. That's when you can create a story. Like, let's say, if I saw nothing in my account, I would say, in fact, I've done this before, is there was a time when, actually, not quite long back, when I was on vacation this year, before I went for vacation, I created a story in my mind that said, the more I relax, the more money I make. So the more I'm on vacation, the more money I make. I made up the story because I knew that when you're on vacation, you're not actively working on your business, so your money might not be as much. So I decided to change the story. Before I went for vacation, I said, uh, I imagined myself walking around in the beautiful old towns of Croatia and getting a message on my phone, and I'd open my phone message and I'd see an SMS saying so much money has been deposited into your account. And then I would have a thought in that moment that says, wow, my entire vacation just got paid off by this one deposit that I just got. I imagined all of this way before I left for vacation. Because usually my thought would have been, okay, now that I'm going for vacation, money might be a little slower because I'm not on desk. But then I stopped and I said, hey, here's my opportunity to change my attitude and say, you know what? This time when I go for vacation, money is going to keep coming in and I'm going to keep getting SMSs that let's say I'm sitting at an ice cream stand in one of these cities in Europe, and I get this bill, and then ting, I get an SMS and I see that the money that I got has paid for the next 100 ice creams that I bought. And I kept seeing that before I went for vacation. What happened? When I went for vacation, my team came up with this idea on their own to do an intention setting ceremony. They contacted people in our groups, in our SSA groups, Synchroshakti Academy groups, on their own. I'm not involved in this process. I'm on vacation. On their own, the students of our academy created a list of people who are interested in having this intention setting ceremony. On their own, they set up the payment links. My team, on their own, lots and lots of people joined. So while I was on vacation, I was getting SMSs saying, ding, 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 this person is given, this person deposited money in your account. Point being is, I didn't do anything. My team figured it out. The answers came, the groups all came together. They all had this inspired idea. We matched the vision that I had, which is whatever I'm doing on vacation, I'll keep getting an SMS to show that whatever I'm doing has been paid for, and the next 10 of these will be paid for. So you understand what I'm saying? Your attitude when you see the bank account, or when you're going on vacation, or when you're sick, whatever thoughts you have around your life is so powerful. You know what they say about abracadabra, right? What I speak comes to life. It's like that. Okay. So when you've got zero on your account, celebrate, because from zero comes millions, right? When you have, like, for example, when I had to pay, I'll give you another case study here. I hope this is of value to someone who's watching. Not long back, I had to pay advance tax and I had to do tax planning. And my accounts, so I'm an investor, so my money goes into investment. So my liquid accounts are quite, I tend to take things from my liquid money and I put it into investments. So one time I had to pay advance tax and I had put everything into investments, and then my bank account, my liquid account was almost empty. And instead of getting scared and saying, oh my God, my liquid account's empty, I got excited because now, attitude, it's like a scoreboard. Now I can see how much money is actually coming in and growing. And if it was, because it's at zero, I can now see the money stacking up. If it was a big number, I would not even know the progress I'm making or how much money I'm making. But now that it's so low, I can actually see the money coming in, and I can keep track of the score. Okay, money is a score game. It's like a game. It's not something to take seriously. It's the ocean. Most people are sitting and holding on to the buckets that they have. Oh, I gave a bucket of mine to my friend and she hasn't paid me back in 25 years. I gave a bucket of mine to my husband and he squandered all of it. When there's an ocean in front of you of pure abundance, why are we sitting and holding on to buckets when the ocean is in front of you? So having to understand the money prosperity is just energy. It's an emotion. Money will follow your heart. Where your heart is related to money is where the money will flow. So the current situation is the shadow. Don't This is the fun part. When you see a shadow of things not working for you, that's when you get excited. That's when you take a toast and you say, now let's change the shadow. I'm excited to see how the shadow changes into something completely amazing. Hope this made sense. Okay. Did this help you? How did you manifest your marriage? Okay. I'll answer those questions soon. If this helped you, please let me know. It helped in the chat. What did you take back from my? I'm telling you my full process of financial freedom. What it looks like, feels like, affirmations, changing your thoughts when you're in lack, getting excited, all of that. Okay. If it helped, just type help. Okay, good. Answer is right there. Now practice. Okay, let's take questions now from the chat. Okay. Is it necessary to do all this work, the shadow work, to get at a zero state? That's a really good question. No, it's not necessary to do that to get to a zero state. Zero state is your natural state. You don't have to do it, but in my personal experience, because the mind is so non-stop, constantly distracted, needing something to be distracted, always thinking, always dialogue, always past, we're so far removed from the peace within and the expansion within that processes to shut this off helps you to get there very quickly. But it also depends on the person. When I was younger, I could get into the state a lot faster. Then, when I grew older, and then I had panic disorder, then I had depression, then I had some other anxiety disorder, then I had trauma from students, and I had trauma from there's so much noise. It I couldn't get to that state very easily. So for me, I had to do shadow work. I had to heal the anxiety. I had to heal the depression. I had to heal the traumas and continuing to heal them to reach that state faster. So it depends individually to individually, but it's not necessary. Okay, let's take a question from the chat. One person was sharing questions a lot. So, um, okay, this is in Hindi. Okay, so she says, Payal says, ma'am, मैं और SP, I'm assuming is, I don't know what SP is. It's all over law of attraction circles. SP, is it special person or specific person? You have to let me know. मैरिज करना चाहते हैं बट कास्ट अलग है, पापा बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है, कास्ट बहुत मानते हैं, उनसे बात करने में भी डर लगता है, वो कुम्हार कास्ट से है और हम पंडित, क्या करूं वो. Okay, so this is a pretty common question, and it only happens with the Desi community. And I understand what a huge deal this is because I know many people in my own close circles have gone through something similar. But this is not necessarily the scope of what I'm an expert in. So I'm just going to give you my opinion. Take it with a pinch of salt. Uh, I believe personally that if you can clean the fear in your heart, you can clean the fear in your heart using Ho'oponopono or pain body meditation, anything, and then you intend into the universe, may this happen in a way that we're all happy, or may this is also part of the webinar that is on 25th. We talk about this. When you're praying, pray as though, pray in a way that you ask from the universe, may my marriage take place in a way that makes everyone happy, including myself. And let the universe figure out how it's going to happen. You can be surprised. Sometimes, like I have case studies of people whose parents did come around and they did get married. I've had case studies of people who have found the peace within them to get married anyway, and their families came around later. So in India and Desi circles, what your parents say is so hugely conditioned into us. But we forget that we also are living our life. Of course, nobody wants to hurt their parents, but then parents who cannot see the happiness of their own children, and then you kind of sit in that pain all throughout your life. Like I said, not my forte and not my place to say anything. But I believe that if you can heal the fear and leave it to the divine to sort it out in a way that makes everyone happy, makes the parents happy, makes you happy, everybody's happy, then leave it, because then the universe will figure out something that we cannot figure out for ourselves. That is one. Secondly, and I have to say this, if you were my younger sister or younger brother or my child, I would tell you that a lot of the times what we feel as love is actually infatuation, and others can see it and you can't see it because you're in a chemically state and your brain is kind of floating in a lot of chemicals, and you think that's love and movies and romance, and you get really you get really pulled into somebody without really realizing whether this is what you really want. You'll fall in love. I saw this beautiful quote recent video where she said you'll fall in love with many people, but they will not be the one you marry. So marriage, you when you're looking at marriage, and I will say this as assuming you're younger to me, I'll say this as slightly elder to you, is when you're getting married, understand what it means to be married. It's not just romance and butterflies and all of this. You want to take care of your own mental health and your stability so much that you don't project yourself into the marriage or project your negativities into the marriage. So when there's delay when it comes to your marriage, know that that delay is there for a reason, for you to be fully aligned to the marriage that you want to live. You don't want to fight with your parents, get married, and then after that have a terrible marriage. You don't want that reality. So take this delay as a time to heal your fears, leave it to the universe, and be the right person to walk into a marriage healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, to get into the marriage so the marriage is healthy. I have to say these angles also if I have to be responsible enough to share this with you. Okay, let's take another question. Is there any of this helping you guys? If it is, just type helping. Okay, how to overcome the anxiety of future events. How to apply LOA for students. Okay. Can I skip Ho'oponopono part in your LI, of course? You can, of course. Okay. So let me take one question from the submitted questions and then we'll take your question. Okay. 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 I'm reading through the questions. I'm not seeing which ones are relevant. Okay. A lot of this is about my courses and how to join and how to do. So I'm trying to get more general courses. Okay, I want to heal myself. I always opposite things which I want to do. That's just opposite. If I want to study, I don't do it. If I want to wake up, I don't do it. How can I overcome this bullshit? I love this question. I repeat my mistakes on a daily basis. Okay, great question for those of you who are repeating your mistakes on a daily basis. You're always doing the opposite of what you should be doing. This is whether this was your question or not. This is something that everyone can relate to. So I'm going to give you a little deeper answer, and then after that, I'll answer the question about anxiety of the future, and then leave it to that. Okay. All right. Interesting questions. So if you are doing something in your life, you're doing a habit that you know you're not supposed to do, you're procrastinating, or you're behaving in a way that you know you're not supposed to do, you want to do something better, but you're always doing the opposite of it or not doing what you need to do. I will give you the answer from my perspective on why that is happening so that you can undo it. So, little complicated answer, but I'll share it the way it is. All behaviors that you're doing is self loving. Okay. All behaviors that you're doing, procrastination, addiction, drinking, gambling, being lazy, all of that is self loving. Now, what am I saying? What does this mean? Are you saying that by me getting heavily into alcohol addiction, I'm loving myself? Are you saying by me cutting or by me being suicidal or me doing something negative, I'm loving myself? And the answer is yes. So let me explain. The aspect of you that's doing the opposite behavior to what you want to do, the aspect of you that's doing the opposite behavior to what you want to do is doing that behavior because according to it, by doing this, it's saving you from something. I'll explain. So let's say you're trying to have a baby, but you're not able to be a baby. You're not able to have a baby, not be a baby, have a baby. You're trying to have a baby, but you're not able to have a baby. Why? Some aspect of you, now this is quite a common thing that happens with people who want to be mothers, is they may have in their childhood had a pretty bad childhood and associated mothers as some sort of a negative thing. A mother is a negative person who hurts me. So, motherhood is then associated with something negative. So, a part of you will block you from having a baby because it assumes that being a mother, you will change into a bad person. You don't know this consciously, but by stopping you from having a baby, it's actually loving you and trying to protect you from being a bad person or a bad mom. Another one is procrastination. By you procrastinating, an aspect of you is trying to protect you from any negative consequences that may occur as a result of you starting the work that you're doing. For example, if you're procrastinating starting a business, a part of you is trying to protect you by saying, okay, what's the point in me starting a business when I'm anyways going to fail? Or what's the point of me starting a business or getting money when I know I'm not worth it? What's the so because a part of you feels, or if I become rich, then people will use me. If I become rich, then my friends will make fun of me. If I become successful, then all my family will leave me. So you'll block yourself from even starting the work because it's protecting you from losing your friends or losing your family or whatever idea you have subconsciously about success. So, any behavior, let's say you have to study, but you're watching YouTube shorts, okay? That behavior is trying to keep you from the pain of having to study or the pain of having to live this kind of to do the kind of work that doesn't feel good to you. So that part of you is blocking you from doing the work because it's protecting you from feeling all those negative feelings of forcing yourself to study and then do all these things that you may or may not want to do. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So what do we do in this case? We accept and love the aspect of us that is doing the opposite and then walk it through. This is a little deeper work here than just something you share in a YouTube live. But when you're doing the opposite behavior, you understand it's just trying to protect you in some way. So you don't judge it, you don't resist it, you hold it like a child. The child is like a mom who doesn't want you to go out of the house because she saw WhatsApp forward. This is also the answer to anxiety. This mom saw this WhatsApp forward about girls who are not safe, so she doesn't want her daughter to go out. That behavior, the aspect of you that's doing the behavior that you don't want, is like that mom who's stopping you from doing the right things because according to it, it's protecting you from doing something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. So so you be kind to it, and then how you will explain to a child, I understand, thank you so much for trying to protect me, but here is an alternate perspective. This is why we want to study, because we want, so you explain to it in a loving way so that uh, you move towards the behaviors that you want instead of resisting the behaviors that you don't want. So like I said, this is a deeper answer than just a YouTube live. I'll have to, this is why we have long form courses, because there's so much to teach you. But point is, this is the reason why. So now that you know the reason why, you can overcome it a lot better. Okay, now who is the person here who's been sending copy paste lots of questions? Let me take that question. Okay, Mudita says, I always see things like 623, the date is 23. If charging is 32 time, is 1032, it happens ample of times like crazy. Yes, okay. So what does that mean? That is your question. So again, not my forte. My field is, I have nothing to do with synchronicities, but I will give you my perspective on it. Is in my perspective, I'm not saying this is the absolute truth. I believe that these numbers and these signs are, um, well, there are two versions of this. The first one is these are notifications from forces above us. Just my perspective. I'm not. I personally also don't know if this is the truth, but I have found that when I see numbers, for me, it's like a notification that some big change is going to happen in my life, and sure enough, a change, a big change. Like I'm talking about humongous life-altering change is about to take place. So for me, that's been my experience when I see numbers, but it's been a long time since I've seen numbers, synchronicities, but I'm still manifesting all kinds of things. So what I have seen is what meaning you give to it is what though these numbers will start appearing based on the meaning that you give to it. So if you see it as a sign that a good thing is going to happen, then you'll see more of these showing up when you know that a good thing, when you are manifesting a good thing. Okay, not my forte. These numbers and synchronicities are not my field, but this is what I have seen personally in my life is the meaning that I've given to these numbers. That to communicate that meaning, these numbers are constantly showing up again in my life. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so again, not my field. Any other law of attraction teacher would be brilliant for that question. Not me. I have my own little niches, and I'm not good at synchronicity based things. So uh, I don't know if that answer helped anybody. Okay, let's take another question. The other question was fear of the future, anxiety. Okay, I'm scared of failing in the law of attraction. Something is stopping me from trying. Something is making me anxious. I have high anxiety even when eating, drinking water. That is normal for people with anxiety. I come from an anxiety background. I'll tell you a little bit about anxiety and then we'll wrap it up. But before I give you the final answer on anxiety, I just want my team to post in the chat the upcoming class. It's related to everything that I've shared thus far. It is called 111 Days to a Perfect Life. It's 90 minutes. It is free. We talk about the four pillars of a perfect life, which means mentally perfect, emotionally perfect, physically perfect. Perfect life doesn't exist. So, why am I teaching you a class on perfect life? You'll figure that out when you come for the class. So, 111 Days to a Perfect Life. How do we create the life that feels the most beautiful and graceful for us? Also, what are the seven pillars of an imperfect life? We're going to look at that as well. And I take you through a guided surrender meditation and talk about how to manifest in all areas of your life. I'm live. My husband just came into the room. Bag is downstairs. One moment, guys. It's in the bag. Do you know where the? I'll come with you. Can you go after 5 minutes, please? Okay, so I have to go to a local vineyard here in Popovacha, which is a town next to where I live. So we are going there tonight. So I will leave now in 5 minutes. But my team can put in the chat the link to come for the webinar. We're also talking about how to magnetize ourselves to all our desires. It basically is the best webinar I've ever given in my life, and I think you should be there. So I don't want to convince anybody here to come for the webinar, but if you feel connected to me and the work that we do, please come for this webinar. It's happening on the 25th as well as on the 30th. Okay. So now I will give you a 5-minute quick answer to anxiety. So it solves the question related to anxiety. So remember, I told you that all aspects of you, especially including the negative aspects of you, negative behaviors, negative experiences like anxiety, are trying to love and protect us. So, anxiety is one of those things that is trying to love and protect us. It's just that it feels horrible and it serves no actual purpose other than it thinking that it is protecting us. So, I'll explain anxiety in one shot. Anxiety is like that mother who I mentioned who read a WhatsApp forward and now is very scared to let her daughter go out of the house. Now, anxiety feels extremely intense because your body is going through a physiological fight or flight response. There is adrenaline shooting through your body, blood is coming out, is being churned out of your stomach, going into your hands and legs. So there's this jelly feeling and this vibration and fear, and you'll feel it in your throat and your heart and your chest and your stomach. So there's a lot going on with your body physiologically, but it's just trying to protect you from a threat. So anxiety is not the problem. Anxiety is only the aspect of you that wants to protect you. So the sensations of anxiety can be scientifically explained. They feel unpleasant, but they're not the problem. It's just like a mom holding you and saying, "Don't go, my child, out of the house." Now it feels kind of unpleasant because she's putting you can't breathe, and you feel faint and it feels unpleasant. But these are just you're safe. When you're anxious, you're in the most safest physiological state because your body is preparing to fight or flight a threat. So anxiety is not your problem. Okay, anxiety is just a protective mechanism. Sensations of anxiety is not your problem. It's just bodily sensations. What is the actual problem? The actual problem is what the anxiety is responding to, some form of threat. Now, what is this threat? Now, throughout your life, if you have been walking on eggshells, which means if you lived in a house where one parent or multiple parents or people around were unstable, where there could be fights or anger or something could erupt at any time. If you've been through experiences where you don't feel safe, your brain, okay, whether in college or in office or wherever in your life, you've gone through multiple experiences where you don't feel safe, your brain becomes wired to the feelings of not being safe on earth. You feel not safe with human beings, social anxiety. You feel not safe when it comes to money anxiety. You feel not safe when it comes to your father, mother, family anxiety. So your brain keeps getting wired to feel anxious. Then what happens? Then you come to a video of Synchroshakti or someone else, and they start talking about law of attraction and you can create your life. What happened to this anxiety? It doesn't magically disappear. Your brain is wired to be anxious. So when you start doing law of attraction, anxiety will come up. When you try to feel amazing, anxiety will come up. Why? Because the brain is an anxious brain. Good news about the brain is plastic, it's malleable, it's neuroplasticity. You can rewire or undo all this anxious brain and make it into a normal healthy functioning brain. How do you do that? You use mindfulness is in CBT therapies. Mindfulness is in all forms of therapies, but mindfulness is scientifically and neuroscientifically proven to break the neural pathways of fear and anxiety in your brain, which is why our number one course on Synchroshakti Academy is Living in Freedom, which is a mindfulness based course, which not only heals like anxiety, but it heals negativity in all forms. Which is why people, when they come for our MMMC program, which is our manifestation program, they'll stop and they'll go to do LIF, which is our mindfulness program, heal that negativity, and then come back to MMMC, because suddenly all of this stuff from childhood starts coming up where you don't feel worthy, where you feel disconnected, where you have low days, where you can't get back up because there's so much stuff, trauma going on inside the body. So you practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is learning to observe an emotion that comes up in your body and allowing it to fully come up without acting on it, without judging it, without resisting it, just sitting with it and feeling it, letting it come out and then releasing. And you do that through every anxious feeling. You feel it, butterflies in your stomach, heaviness in your chest, this lump in your throat, headache, whatever. You feel it, you allow it to come up. And every time you overcome or you ride a wave of depression, or you ride a wave of anxiety, or you ride a wave of fear, where that fear comes up and you think you're about to die and your heart is about to explode, and then settles. Every time you do that, you rewire your brain, and you do that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, your brain begins to go back to its normal functioning. It's no longer wired to anxiety because you're not feeding those patterns again and again. It's a long story. I have a whole webinar on it. Point is, you can undo your anxiety. When you undo anxiety, what happens? You come down to who you naturally are, which is peace, which is calm, which is love, which is expansion, which is joy. That's your natural self, which is why we talk about healing and mindfulness, all of that, when pairing it with manifestation. That is what Synchroshakti Academy is about. That's what the webinar is about. That's what our courses are about. It's about pairing this mindfulness healing with law of attraction. So, if you can pair these in your own way, you don't have to come to our academy or study. In your own way, study this book, Power of Now, for mindfulness. Study any law of attraction book, and you merge the two teachings on your own. You will overcome your anxiety of the future. You, because if you had an anxious past, obviously your brain is going to be scared of it happening again, right? So, have I said anything that's been of value to anyone here? Please let me know. If yes, just type valuable. Now, all of what I'm telling you is knowledge I've shared anyway. But if you want to go deeper, please come for the webinar. What to do when you fear death of me and your loved ones. I have a lot of talk. I talk about this in my programs all the time. So if you feel like coming for our programs, please come. We discuss all these things. But if you fear death, understand it's not death that you fear. If you fear anything, understand it's not the thing that you fear, it's your idea of the thing that you fear. If you fear death, it's your idea of what death means. That's what's causing your fear. It's not death itself. You don't know death enough to fear death. If you fear old age, it's your idea of old age that you fear. According to most humans, old age means horrible health, fading memory, terrible relationships, bitterness. That's your idea of old age. Have you not seen old people with great health, happy relationships, doing wonderfully, trekking? Have you not seen these guys? So it's totally your idea of what death means. But if you study people, again, I can keep talking. This is why we have long form courses. If you study death, and you understand what that may mean spiritually, or you go back to your own texts, if you are from, let's say, a Hindu tradition, what does Hinduism talk about death? If you study that, you will not fear it because you understand it. But what we don't understand, we tend to fear. Yeah, people don't go anywhere. I can keep talking. I'm going to shut up now because come for my courses. If not courses, come for the webinar. Okay, chalo. So I will leave it at that. I hope the questions that I've answered today gives you a general idea of how to apply that, especially the first question that I put. Team, please, one more time. Yes, team has put the link to the webinar. Please come register. 111 Days to a Perfect Life. I will see you there. That's 90 minutes, so we can have another Q&A round towards the end of the webinar. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the webinar. And just remember, you are God consciousness. You are God. You are God. You are God. You're divine. You're divine. You're divine. You are as powerful as the most powerful person you can ever imagine. That is you. Don't ever fall into victimhood. Love is a great attractive force. So find the love in your heart for life, and you'll attract the life that you love. Love you. See you all soon at the webinar. Bye.